I know you're trying to get some work. Yes. Welcome back to the Freedom Economy series sponsored by Spera. Today we are talking about how to get that freelance work. These are the 5 tips that I think you should follow to get that freelance work. Number 1, get a content strategy going with the full intention and goal of getting you work. So what does that mean? You can make videos on YouTube, that's awesome. You can write blog posts on your website, you can create posts on Instagram. But regardless, the call to action for you is always going to be, hey guys, ya wanna come and work with me? So when you're making content online, it's always with that intention. You're educating your customer on how they can get better at what they're doing, but also make them connect the dots on why they should hire you. The key thing here is having a work with me page on your website. A lot of people make it so hard for someone to go to a website and figure out what they're supposed to do. And if that thing is to hire you, don't hide it. Don't put it at the bottom of your about page somewhere. It needs to be a feature in the menu bar so that if you have any traffic whatsoever, whether it's going to a YouTube channel or a blog post, they are going to connect the dots that they need to hire you. By the way, your content strategy isn't 5 reasons you should hire me. It should be information that people are actually searching for, or actually thinking about, actually keeping them up at night about what it is you do. So if somebody maybe just got engaged and they are thinking about putting on a wedding, they might be searching for things like wedding dresses. Maybe you happen to be a wedding photographer. How can you educate someone on picking out a wedding dress? It may not be what you do, but you can certainly give roundabout advice about that, especially when it comes to being photo friendly. You see what I'm getting at. You have to talk about things that other people are already thinking about in order for them to care about you. And then they might go to your Work With Me page. Now you're gonna need to share your content strategy with people who care. Sure, you can go to all your social networks and you can let all those people know that are following you or friends with you that you're doing all this stuff. They're great people to tell. Trust me, leverage every network you have. There are also people that you have met individually, talk to regularly, maybe don't talk to so regularly, but would want to hear from you about what you're up to. Send personal emails to those people and say, hey, I just wrote this blog post. It's super relevant and helpful for X type of person. I figured since you know the kind of work I do, that you might be able to forward this to someone who really needs it. Thanks so much. Nowhere in that email does it say that that person needs to tell another person to hire you. It's just that they're willing to vouch for you, to say, my friend did this and they do really good work and you should check this out because I think it'd be useful to you. That's huge. Make those personal connections and get referred from the people who are your biggest fans. Actually your biggest fans. You've got some content flowing, but now you need to go to where your clients are. Now the wedding photographer, that's considered B2C because you're selling to a consumer. A consumer is trying to buy all the things that go into a wedding. So you can go into things like hashtags or groups on different social networks, just depends on what they're calling it. So just think with the hashtag mentality that you can go and find your customer where they're hanging out, talking about that relevant topic to what you do. B2B, business to business, even more fun. Maybe you are not a wedding photographer. Maybe you are a headshot photographer and you take business people's photos. Well, if you want to search for somebody, you can very easily do that on LinkedIn. I know we don't talk about LinkedIn a lot because it's kind of this weird social network where people just go to post their resume, but the thing is, that's a good thing because they're putting every detail of what they do and who they are in that information. You can search for people by exact title on LinkedIn. You can write a list of people by name that you have never met before based on what their title is, where they work, what they do, what kind of company they work at. That could be your potential client. Use that database and then go hang out there. You should absolutely be sharing your content there, but more than anything, whether you're B2B, B2C, it doesn't matter. You need to be making these contacts with people because you're gonna hopefully get their information so you can follow up with them later, build upon that relationship. So you're making personal connections, you've started to dabble in all of these different areas where your potential customer's hanging out, and maybe you've got some contact information to work with now. Ideally, you have some emails where you can send out more individual contacts to people to say, hey, I just want you to know what I'm doing so that if it's helpful for you, you'll know it and you'll ask me. Let's take the wedding photographer example again. Let's say you came up with a list of people who just got engaged, and maybe you have the email or contact information for one of them. It could even be a cell phone. I want you to send them a personal video, actually personal, not like I made this for a bunch of people and I made it seem like it was for you, like actually for that individual person. This is hard work, this is going to take time, but this could convert a very high paying customer for you. So let's say you reach out to Mary who just got engaged. Here's a great example of what that personal video would look like. Hey Mary, so you got engaged. So exciting. I bet you're in uber wedding planning mode. I just wanted to reach out quickly and let you know the 3 biggest mistakes that people make when they hire a wedding photographer. 1, they just assume that their sister who has a nice camera knows what they're doing. They don't. Don't do that. It's gonna make you so sad after the most special day is over and you don't have great photos of it. Number 2, they reach out to some photographer that has really great family portraits on their site, but no real wedding experience. It's not the same, and you don't want to risk that. You really want to make sure somebody actually has wedding experience in the territory and can totally do it for you. And number 3, a lot of times wedding photographers go over on their time, and then you get a little bit of kind of this fee that's like, oh, your wedding went a little late. Sorry, I'd charge more for that. I see that happen all the time. You want to make sure that you're very clear about the money up front. So make sure that you do that, get it all in writing, and you'll be good to go. By the way, I'm also a photographer. I don't do that like overpriced, like over hours thing. Like, I don't even know who does that. Anyway, if you have any more questions, this is what I do. I'm happy to answer anything that you need to know. Just hit me back. Congratulations! I'm Mary and I'm feeling like I'm the most special woman in the world and I'm about to hire you. Hello, this is huge. Nobody makes personalized videos. Everybody's trying to grapple with the fact that they gotta make a video and upload it to YouTube. But the conversion of someone you chose to reach out to and give them personal advice without being prompted, and you just so happen to be the professional in the area, what do you think that does for your credibility? If you don't even get that client, maybe they have somebody they're already planning to work with, but they really appreciate you, you think they're not gonna recommend you? That kind of contact makes a huge difference in your client base and how they feel about you before you've even gotten started. And finally, number 5, you do all of that, but most importantly, you keep your current and previous customers happy. Sure, maybe it might be a scenario where they can't hire you again. Ideally, wedding photographer. They might refer business to you in the future because they're so happy with how it went with you. So staying in contact is important. Let's say you're the copywriter and you absolutely could be hired again. You did some one-off job and now you want to get more work from that previous client in the future. Continuing to stay in contact with them. Referrals, repeat business. Go with the people who already know what it's like to work with you. They're the best customers that you could have. You don't have to keep pinging them and saying, please remember to hire me if the opportunity arises. You're creating content that's intended for people who maybe don't know who you are yet. The blog posts, the videos that go on YouTube, etc. You can share that same stuff with current and previous clients. It's still going to be useful to them even if they graduated past it at some point. That's important that you share that with them so that they will keep you top of mind. And what's easier than recommending you to a friend who needs you when you send them an email with valuable information in it? They're going to forward that email. Boom, referral business. All right, now go get some work. Get to work. Work, 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 work. Sorry, I watched the AMAs last night. It seems like everybody's singing about work these days. It's very convenient for this series. Speaking of this series, it has come to an end. This is the last episode of the Freedom Economy series, sponsored by Spera. If you did not check out Spera by this point, what's wrong with you? Like, really, are you taking the freelance thing very seriously? Really amazing platform that helps you streamline all of your project management into invoicing and collecting your money. So if you want that process to be easy so you can do the work that actually needs to get done, this is a fantastic platform for you to check out. If you click my link, you will get a 30-day free trial, but today it's even more special because they were like, we've really enjoyed working with you, Amy. This has been a lot of fun. So we want to give anybody who hasn't signed up for a 30-day trial yet an opportunity to get a copy of your favorite book, Ask Gary Vee. They have so many of these that they want to give to you. You don't get the signed first edition. This is mine. This is my copy. They have copies for you. If you click on that link and you go and sign up for a 30-day free trial, like, what are you even doing right now? This is the easiest decision to make. So go check that out. Thanks so much, Spera, for sponsoring this series. This was a lot of fun. A lot of you guys enjoyed this, which is awesome. So we should find out if you want it to continue. If you liked this, you viewer, you amazing person, you. leave a comment below with the words "Freedom Rocks" in all caps and tell me if you want this series to continue, and I'll see what I can do. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Subscribe for good vibes. Have a happy Thanksgiving to you Americans like me. I'm so excited to eat. And until next time, go after what you want. Cheers.